Hey everyone, Mike and Aubrey here from Simplify Abroad, and I know we haven't done a video in a little while. Our kids had Easter break, and so we actually, here in Spain, they do 10 days?
I don't know.
14 days?
It was 2 full weeks.
Something crazy. Besides the point, we ended up taking our entire family to Switzerland. And so a lot of questions we got asked, at least from our personal family and stuff like that, and friends, was, how expensive was it to travel to Switzerland, especially with that large of a family? So basically, I guess in this video, we want to try to cover the cost of travel a little bit, how we kind of tackled some things, because Switzerland definitely is expensive, especially like after living in Spain. But I don't know if it's as bad as it also gets made out to be. So maybe you can start us off with this a little bit.
Or there's like just ways around, or saving some, or our first one is there are cheap flights from Valencia to Zurich. Now, I don't know about other places, but from Valencia to Zurich, there were pretty cheap flights. Yeah. Originally, we were going to go to Geneva and take different trains. We were kind of all over the map. Mm-hmm. But when we went to go book it, we saw it was cheaper in Zurich. And then we ended up just taking the trains we went from Zurich, we went down to Interlaken, to Grindelwald, we went to Bern and Basel, or Basel. I'm not sure. We've been hearing people say it both ways. And then we went back to Zurich, and it was just maybe 2-hour train rides, 1 hour, 30 minutes. It was very, very easy, manageable with the kids. I was quite nervous to do like a train ride that was 3 hours. So I'm like, oh God, like our kids are going to be a nightmare. It's going to be horrible. But if we could do it over again, I would definitely do like a 3-hour, 4-hour train ride, because it was really, truly easy. The train system there is great. It's safe. I mean, we would just know our time. We'd jump on. There was always seats. I mean, it was just really nice. Our kids would sit in little fours. Yep. Sometimes they would sit around like a...
It's like a U table, like you're in a dining, like an old school diner.
Yeah, so the kids would have their toys and their iPads, and they would just sit in like a little U-shaped, and we would sit right beside them, and we were comfortable. It was easy with our bags. I mean, it was overall very, very easy transportation, even compared to Spain, which we feel is very easy transportation.
Yeah, I thought Spain was good, and then I went to Switzerland's, and Switzerland's is better.
It was incredible.
I'd also say maybe one train was packed. Is that fair?
Maybe.
The Grindelwald back to Interlaken was pretty packed.
Yeah, but other than that... No, and with the trains too, I think they come, I wonder what it was, like every 20, 30 minutes, there's a train that would go to your destination. And so if you miss it, you're like, oh, whatever. And then you just wait on the platform, or you go grab it, like something, like a snack, and then there's your next train. It was very awesome. It was really cool.
Yeah, so I guess first off, for the cost, we obviously got some cheap flights. We had to buy for 6 of us, right? So we did get some cheap flights, round trip. Instead of doing a multi-city, we saved money doing round trip. And the train system was so easy that it was the right choice. Mm-hmm. Number 2, to talk about the train system a little bit more, I don't say you have to, but especially if you're a family, you should get the Swiss Family Pass. So basically, I believe we got an 8-day Swiss Family Pass. We were there for 9 days technically, but the first day we were just catching a small train into Zurich and staying at the hotel before doing everything else the next days. So we got the 8-day Swiss Family Pass. It was $380 or something like that. If you're younger than us, which I don't think we're that old, but if you're younger than us, they do have like young traveler discounts and stuff like that. But for families, the biggest thing is it was like 380 francs or whatever for me. For Aubrey, basically it was like 400. It was like 920 bucks. Like an hour after we got off the airplane. But with that pass, all 4 of our kids were completely free. And they hand you like a little paper thing that they put into a plastic protector. But with that pass, I think it was every train, tram, bus, metro, ferry, I mean, anything you can think of basically is free. Once you get out a certain area, like so in Grindelwald, if you want to go up like to the very top of, the top of Europe, whatever they call it and stuff like that, that I think is only a 50% discount.
Yeah. But it's still a discount. That's still a good price.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah. And really, probably, like, the ease of peace of mind, ease of travel. You literally just hop on, you get it. Just the only thing is you have to make sure you have it on you. I'd say on every longer distance train over an hour, we probably got asked for it every time.
Yeah.
On the buses, maybe once or twice we got asked. It wasn't many times. And on the little trams, in and around the city, maybe once or twice again. Yeah, we did get asked, but not really.
Just to add on real quick to when you go by the Swiss, the family pass, right when you get into the airport. Was it the airport? I think it was the airport.
It was the airport.
Yeah, we were kind of lost. We didn't know where to go and buy because there's the train station inside the airport, basically. But there is a whole information center, and honestly, you can just go ask one of the people wearing their little outfits, and they all speak English, so they'll direct you there. But we did walk around for a bit. We're like, okay, where do we buy this pass? Do we just order it on the machine, the little box? And we finally found someone. They're like, oh yeah, just go in there. And speaking English, we're like, oh wow, this is great.
Yeah. Especially again, we've kind of talked about how we really have to think hard to speak Spanish. Most of the people's English was perfect, but I guess to get back to the cost side of it, besides every train ride free, all that type of stuff, which it almost paid for itself on that point. I'd say if we really wasted time, we could have got tickets a little bit cheaper than what we paid for everyone. But you get 500 free museums as well, right? So in Bern, I know we used that a couple times, like the Natural History Museum. There's another one, Museum of Communication. Right. The FIFA Museum, both of our boys love soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. That was 100% free. So a lot of the stuff we actually got to do, one of the ferry rides we did was actually free. That was really cool. And so it 100% paid for itself. If you have a larger family, with all the tickets being free, you just hop on. All the museums being free, it truly does pay for itself. Yeah. But that, and then the mobile data was just $50 or $60. We literally dropped $1,000 right as we landed, and I was like, holy crap! Is Switzerland going to be this bad? And it's not. Again, with the Swiss travel pass, it really does help. I think Aubrey will kind of touch on the next points, but it really was one of the best investments that you can make with it. So highly recommend, especially because we chose Zurich. And we took the trains everywhere from there. It paid for itself.
It was definitely our, the most stress-free trip we've ever taken. I mean, it was a very expensive trip, but it was the most stress-free. Everyone kind of came happy, and it was probably one of our favorite trips so far we've taken as a family.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, it was a really good trip.
I guess next up, you want to talk about what we're trying to spend in a day, or do you want me to touch on that?
You can do that. I'll do the chocolate.
Got it. Yeah. So I guess for the next point, just to try to give you guys some real numbers as well, because we try to make this as helpful as possible. Our goal was to spend $300 a day, not including lodging, because obviously with 6 people, it's a freaking nightmare.
Sometimes you have to do 2 rooms because a lot of places only let you have 2 or 3 kids. Obviously with 4 kids, we have to get 2 hotel rooms, which in some places is fine because they'll be right next to each other because they're little bed and breakfast places. So it's not bad, but I mean, it does add up. Yeah,
it does. But like I said, so not including lodging, our goal was to spend $300 a day. That did include the Swiss family travel pass. We basically just tried to say we were there for 10 days. I think it was technically 9.5 or something, but for an easy $3,000 number. And like I said, we spent $1,000 literally an hour right off the plane. Just bam, it was gone. I didn't think we were going to make our budget. I think we only went over by about $200, but that was including gifts, random stuff. I wasted some money, but I purchased something probably more expensive than I should have. But the free museums for the Swiss family travel pass, that helped a ton. We did try to do an activity. So if we did 2 activities in a day, let's say on Monday, we tried to relax on Tuesday and either do just a small activity, we really enjoyed, whether it was walking, doing a free ferry or something like that. But even then, we loved those market halls.
Oh my God, they were so good.
They have these little food court market halls of food truck vendors in a lot of the cities that we were staying in. And so we'd actually take the tram there, walk around there, take the kids, eat our meal there, let them try all this different types of stuff.
And food from around the world too.
Yeah.
It wasn't just regular like Swiss food. I mean, we ate, I think it was 6 or 7 different cuisines in one sitting.
Yep.
So it was really, really cool.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Yeah. But one thing is eating out definitely is expensive in Switzerland. Caught us off guard the first time we ate out.
Oh, yeah.
So what we did was basically we would eat out one meal a day, usually dinner. And since we moved to Spain, we don't really eat breakfast like we did in America. Not that we don't eat breakfast.
It's not close.
But we don't eat those big breakfasts anymore. So our kids kind of just do like a yogurt, a granola, maybe a muffin with it as well. And then the grocery stores actually were very comparable price to the US. Outside of meat, chicken and beef for like less than a pound. $14 a pound? $14 a pound? It was something wild. Like it actually was kind of crazy. The bread was $2 a loaf. The lunch meat was $2.
It was reasonable.
Yeah, it was all
reasonable.
It was all within US prices,
right.
I think. And so we usually would do just the small breakfast kind of at home. We'd have, to-go kind of sandwiches and stuff like that. And then we'd eat out for dinner. Now, we definitely still ate out like gelatos or little cones, like little snacks like that. We still purchased it out and stuff. We had some snacks at home as well. But I'd say the biggest tip is if you have your own water bottles for the kids, buying it anywhere in Switzerland is like $4 if you're not buying it at the grocery store. It's like 4 or 5 francs, right?
Yeah.
Like it is wild. So the water, once we realized we just have to have our own water bottles and basically like
carry it in a book bag.
Yeah, we put it in a book bag. Yeah, we just put a backpack on, walked around to all our things. That cut down on cost immensely. And they have fountains all throughout like a lot of the cities and stuff that have drinking water that you can just fill it up. I mean, it's well worth it if you plan even just a little bit, but every now and then, every time we bought that like $5 like water bottle this size, oh my god,
it was really it was hard.
It hurt, yeah,
because there's 6 of us, so it was a lot. Very expensive.
So but like I said, that's really like how we tackled it, was the grocery store, the water bottles, Coke Zeros, like whatever you want, all reasonably priced at the grocery stores, even from the city center grocery store. And then we'd eat out one meal a day. And like I said, we did stick to our budget. Outside of me buying something that I probably, spent more money on than I should have, we would have been under our $3,000 kind of like 10-day limit. Again, not including lodging, but that was still doing us usually an activity or 2 a day. Going around and doing stuff, all the trains, travel, metro, everything free, and still eating out with 6 people. So, still can be done, I guess I would say. Yeah.
And to add on, with the Swiss Family Pass, I know we said I think it's over 500 museums that you get in all of Switzerland for free.
Yep.
The one place that is not free is the Lindt Chocolate Factory. Now, I definitely recommend, if you go to Switzerland, you need to go to the Lindt Chocolate Factory. It was awesome.
Yep.
I think we spent, it was about 40 francs to get in, because I think you get like a family pass to get in.
Well, I think it's actually kids 7 and under are free.
Yeah, or maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
and it was like 2 kids and one.
So it's 2 adults, 1 kid we had to pay for.
Right. 2 kids, 1 adult. Yeah, so I think it was 40 francs. And inside, I am a huge chocolate person. I have a problem with chocolate. So if you know me, everyone always gives me chocolate because it's my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
And there is an all-you-can-eat chocolate in there. They have chocolate fountains. You have a spoon, and you just stick your spoon under, and you pull the lever, and I think it's white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate. You can stay there as long as you want.
Yep.
Then I have like a whole little section with the Lindt chocolate balls.
Yep.
You can just take however many you want, and then in the gift shop. So normally gift shops are super expensive.
Yeah.
The gift shop was so reasonable. I mean, I think we got, a 6 or 7 pound bag of chocolate.
It's ridiculous.
And for like 20 francs.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, obviously I had to get some things. And then you got little chocolate bars. So I know the Lindt chocolate bars are really expensive. I think it was $2.50 for a little chocolate bar, which I thought was a really good price.
Yes, and not just to add that in, while $2.50 to me, I'm like, wow, that seems kind of high. I haven't been in the States for a year, so I can't remember how much a Lindt chocolate bar is.
Expensive.
But in Switzerland, it's actually $4 to $4.50 in the grocery stores. So it being $2.50 there was a much better deal.
For sure.
So I just wanted to add that in. I remember that specifically because it was at least a 50% drop. It was a pretty big difference.
So obviously we went into the gift shop, but we did go to the gift shop after we had all-you-can-eat chocolate, so we were feeling quite sick, so we didn't buy as much. So if you do have children, make sure you do the tour first and then do the chocolate shop. But a tip for that is you do have to reserve your spot ahead of time, because I know I think I did it maybe a week ahead of time, and there were only a few spots left when I did it, and I also did it wrong. So do make sure when you are on there, make sure you actually have the day, because it did switch the day on me when I went to reserve it, and it was like a week beforehand. So anyway, just you do have to reserve it, or else they will not let you in. I think I would say at least 5 days ahead of schedule, but probably more.
And again, I think just the main reason we wanted to touch on it, besides Aubrey's love of chocolate, is our kids absolutely loved it for the cost that they charged us. There's no way we didn't eat $40 worth of chocolate alone, not even including entertainment value or time spent with the kids or anything like that. I thought the museum was worth the price, and like I said, I mean, it took an afternoon for us, and for $40, I mean, that's a good deal.
And the bus was really easy, so you just get on a certain bus, and you jump on, and you went out there, and I mean, our kids left with like pockets full of candy, and so it was definitely worth it. It was nice experience for sure.
The last thing, just before we wrap this up, before it gets kind of long. It is a little long. Sorry about this. But the fifth tip we had was just, even if you do like a booking.com, which is what we did. So we did Airbnb in Bern and Interlaken, and then we did hotels from booking.com in Zurich and Basel. I'm not saying that's the best for everyone. That's just what we personally did. Price-wise, that did work out. It's still, pretty good accommodation. For the hotels, you do have to pay a very small city tax that like booking.com didn't charge. It's like $5 maybe per room. Yeah. So like it's a very tiny amount, but because this is a cost video, we did want to at least tell you, like, don't get surprised if there's like it's not like when people go to Hawaii, right? So I'm obviously being from Hawaii, you see these wild taxes, like for like tourist tax and stuff like that. Most of that was included already in our prices there. There's just a very small city tax they do hit you with. $5 to $10 a night. Just something to be aware of. Not a big deal, but just again, something to be aware of that we were charged. And other than that, I hope that kind of gives you a breakdown of how we spent our money. Like I said, activities every day, 1 or 2 activities every day. An off day here or there to kind of pace ourselves. Free train, metro, bus, ferry travel, free museums, grocery stores reasonably priced, eating out pretty expensive. But overall, you definitely can see Switzerland. I wouldn't say on a tight budget, but you don't have to be dropping $300 a meal, right? For 6 people every single time you go out to eat. So overall, like Aubrey said, one of our favorite trips. I hope this video was helpful. And
if you have any questions, then let us know, and we can try to answer them as best we can for everything that we did. Personally.
For sure. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in our next video.
Adios.
Adios.